We all know those GLP-1 injections work wonders, but that price tag almost gave me a heart attack when my insurance denied coverage. I was staring at a choice between paying my mortgage or paying for weight loss. Talk about a rock in a hard place. Then I found Elevate Health compounded semaglutide at just $58 with payment plans that don't require a second mortgage. Same medication, same results, but a price that real folks can actually afford. Visit joinelevate.com today. That's JOINELEVATE.com. Your wallet will be as happy as your waistline. This medication is not FDA approved.
This week on The Final FronTia.
Deep down, like 12-year-old Adam is just like,
fierce.
Oh my God, I made it.
I'm hacking the mainframe. Like, I want to be like the computer nerd.
I was underwater shooting an AK-47. I can't believe I went through that.
Crazy. Let's be a team.
Let's be a team,
We've
girl.
spoken so much about
Let's
community.
Fight for our community.
Yeah, exactly. Welcome to my home.
Hey.
Hello.
I love it here. I feel like I'm in heaven.
That's what this is, actually.
Yeah.
Can you imagine if this was your gateway into the afterlife and it was just me grinning at you?
Oh my God. I think you'd make a great like bouncer for heaven. As people lining
What, as in heaven in
people
Charing
lining
Cross?
up like arriving, welcoming people to heaven.
You mean the afterlife, not the queer venue in London?
No, oh my God. No. Afterlife.
Okay.
I didn't even know the venue was still open.
Heaven?
Yeah.
Yeah, so GAY Bar, this is in the podcast now. GAY Bar and GAY Late have closed, but Heaven is still open.
Okay.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, I haven't been there in a long time, but I just know that obviously they've had a really hard time. Like a lot of venues in the UK right now.
Yeah, nightlife is having a lot of issues right now.
It is having issues and it's worrying because a lot of my work is like nightlife, putting on events and stuff. So it does worry me. I know in Manchester it's really bad, like the gentrification of the whole situation. But
that was fierce. That was like a lyric. Bars for days.
Thanks. But I know for London as well, for Heaven, because they got rid of the GAY in Soho. Mm-hmm. And that's like Heaven is pretty much all we have left.
Yeah. Well, there are sort of queer venues, especially cabaret venues, where I started drag and stuff that are still around and are iconic. Shout out to Halfway to Heaven. Have you ever been to Halfway to Heaven?
I haven't been to Halfway to Heaven, no.
Well, it's fierce. You should go. It's like a small sort of like bar and there's drag downstairs and then it's sort of a pub upstairs. It's very confusing.
Yeah, I think if I ever go out to like queer venues in London and it's like not like a specific, like a club night or a rave, but if I'm going just for like a drink at a bar, realistically, I'll probably be in Dalston. I kind of avoid like Zone 1. So I'm like, I'm in like the bars in Dalston, like Dalston Superstore or Divine, or what was the one that closed down that Barb's used to always perform at?
The Glory?
The Glory.
Yeah.
R.I.P.
Yeah, R.I.P. The Glory. You do strike me as quite the rave diva. Is that kind of your vibe? I'm quiet, stay at home, read a book.
I stay home and read a book too.
I also don't read. I don't know why I said that.
The lies, the fabrication of it all.
Yeah, I pretend to read.
Yeah. No, I mean, I like to rave, for sure. I mean, also, babe, like, I grew up in Manchester, so obviously, you know, like, the Hacienda and, like, that whole, like, acid house movement and everything Manchester stands for, like, it's hard to grow up in Manchester and not end up on, like, raving, you know? But it's great. I owe the rave scene and, like, those venues a lot. Like, pretty much most of my friends are people I met on the dance floor.
Oh, that's cute.
Yeah.
So was that sort of the way that you got into like performing and acting through like nightlife?
I'm dead. I wish. That would be so funny. Like me at the bar, just like shaking ass and being like, wow, I could be a performer.
I mean, it happens.
Yeah.
It does happen.
Yeah, I guess people do get scouted like out and about. But no, someone came into my school when I was 14. This iconic woman called Rachel Brogan, and she used to run TV Workshop, which is like people most know TV Workshop because it was in Nottingham.
Okay.
And like, you know, loads of people like that were in This Is England. And there was this one other show that was like famously like cast a lot of its performers from TV Workshop. But yeah, the alumni are like household, like they're like household names, like really iconic people. And funny enough, I'm obviously, you know, What It Feels Like for a Girl, the show that I did, Laquan and Jake were also TV Workshop. But yeah, she came into my school, scouted me. It was for they were looking to introduce, I think, a family into like Hollyoaks or something. And I didn't end up getting that part that I was originally like scouted for. But I did stay on with the agency. And then that was where I trained to be an actor.
Wow. I also love the fact that you just said like, oh, the show that I did, rather than like this very iconic, important piece of award-winning.
Yeah.
Attitude Award-winning piece of television.
Yeah, I'm very proud of it.
You should be. How was it? Like filming that and like sort of having that. I love that how I said to you before, like there will be no like intense, profound questions, and here I am about to ask you about like the importance of queer representation like, in media.
My one, I was like, can we keep it light? No, it's I love talking about this show, and I'm actually really proud of it, and it will be something that I feel like I'll look back at like when I'm 100, if I make it to 100. Realistically, not, but I can be like, wow, like I was in that show, and you know what? For a long time, Waterloo Road was all I got like stopped and spoken to about, recognized for. But like, it's so beautiful to be like that switch now.
Yeah.
And it's kind of like, not like a rebrand or anything, but it's like reinvented me and like introduced me to people that didn't know me before.
It's like when Madonna has new eras. That's your new era.
Yeah.
You've gone from your like school uniform era into your like sleigh boots era.
Yeah.
I can't say so both of those have just been beeped.
Oh, wow, I'm so excited. I hope I get beeped a lot on this because, you know, I think that's kind of...
Oh, that's another beep.
Sorry. Anyways, what it feels like for a guy. So, what was it like making the show? Well, first of all, the casting process was crazy. Like, definitely one of the longest casting processes I've ever been part of.
What happened?
But that's a testament to the show and the people that made it, because they really wanted to like go up and down the country looking for like just exciting queer voices and talent. And they went to a lot of cities, but they also came to Manchester. And, you know, I was in a lot of like group casting situations where like, you'd get put in a group with like 3 or 4 people, and then they'd give you like a prompt or a scene from the show that you had to do. And there was a lot of improv involved. And I had a lot of fun doing it. Like it was really a really amazing experience.
That's such an interesting way to find like the dynamics between like different people.
And it's really rare, but a lot of the show is based on the fallen divas and around like the chemistry of the friendship. And so I think it was like a critical part of casting, was to make sure that the energy was right. And then I think it was like at the beginning of last year, which was like a couple months before we started filming, when we had like the final chemistry reads and like the chemistry casting sessions. And that's where I met Alex and I met Laquan. And yeah, we just had so much fun. Like there was such an instant click in the room. And I really bonded with Alex and Laquan that day. And then, we didn't hear back for ages. And then when we finally did, we all went to Cardiff and made the show. And the best thing about making the show is like we had this huge base in it was near Newport in Wales. And like, it was just like this huge warehouse where like we had like all the sets and all the costume and like the makeup trailers and stuff. And I've never really shot in a sound studio like that before. And it's so cool because, you know, before they go to say action, you hear the bell ring. And I was like, oh my God.
Oh, they actually have that?
Yeah.
I thought that was like a TV thing, like a pretend thing that they... Yeah.
No, babe, it's real. And it's so gaggy because like they'll call action, then you hear the bell ring and you're like, obviously I want to be in character and do the role. But deep down, like 12-year-old Adam is just like,
fierce.
Oh my God, I made it.
Yeah. That's crazy because I guess like previous work that you've done, like a lot of that would have been location based. Like Waterloo Road you mentioned.
We shot on a school.
It's a real school. They just take it over, redecorate, call it a day.
Yeah. Well, it's normally a derelict, rundown school that was probably like haunted, like
derelict.
And we shot. So the original Waterloo Road used to shoot in Oldham, Rochdale. Oh my God, the fans are gonna come for me. Rochdale.
I am the fan.
Yeah, you probably know more than me, Diva. But we used to shoot in Rochdale. I say we. I wasn't in the original show, but they used to shoot in Rochdale. Then obviously moved to Scotland. And then when they did the reboot, we shot in Salford. And I believe, without disclosing too much information, now they're like, and then they went to central Manchester in a place called Ardwick. And then now they're shooting in Salford again.
Oh, work.
Yeah. They move around a lot. I love it. It's cool though. As an actor, like you want to keep going to new places and like filming on different sets and different environments. And actually nothing compares to shooting on location. Like sound studios are great, but like when you're there in the space, It makes the experience more immersive, and the performance is always going to be so much more natural.
I love that. And also that's like one of my favourite things that ever happened in Waterloo Road, where they were like, the school's now in Scotland.
Yeah.
Makes no sense. Like some of the kids in the school and the teachers were the same.
Yeah,
everyone just uprooted their lives.
That coach like bus crash scene is truly like television gold. It's so iconic. Like
iconic.
I wish I was there. I just want to be a fly on the wall and experience that. Like what that was like to film. That must have been so crazy.
Okay, we need to get you a part in a show where there is like a dramatic rail
I'm great
accident.
at stunts, babe. I'm like that annoying actor who's like, the director's like, cool, so like you can just step off now. Like, well, the stunt double's gonna, someone's gonna come and do it. And I'm like, no, I want to do it. No, please, like, I really want to commit to the role. And obviously, for like insurance reasons, it's like you can't do that.
Yeah.
If you're injured and then you have other scenes to film, like it's just.
Have you done stunt training?
So I did do a feature film called Europa that did get shortlisted for the Oscars a couple of years ago. It went to Cannes. Really love it. It was like this Italian Iraqi action coming of age film, and I played this Syrian Iraqi refugee, who was like basically migrating through Europe, like trying to flee from police and stuff, and it was and human smugglers, and it was like a crazy like action-packed film.
Yeah.
And bearing in mind, I must have been like 18 or 17 or something. I don't know. I was really young, and I'd never done anything like it in my life.
Wow.
But we shot in Tuscany. There was no service anywhere. We were like in the middle of nowhere in the woods. And we were there for like 2-3 months. And we lived on location.
Oh my God.
And the director was Method. So he I lived through this, like the life of the boy. Like I basically lived as him because it was inspired by true stories. And I didn't speak to my mum for months. Lost a lot of weight and had a stunt coordinator and trainer who like taught me how to like climb trees, shoot guns, fight people. I had a scene where I was underwater shooting an AK-47, and just saying it, I'm like, I can't believe I went through that.
Crazy.
Diva, I'll send you the link. It's kind of wild.
Please do.
Yeah.
That sounds incredible. What an incredible experience. Don't love that it was that method and you didn't eat properly. Slightly furious about that.
Yeah.
Probably could have done it if they'd just given you a nice sandwich every now and again.
Yeah.
That would be nice.
Yeah.
But did you actually have to like...
I mean, I did eat, don't get me wrong, but they didn't starve me. But like when you're shooting like for that period of time, and like even when like, because like sometimes you'll have continuous days when you're filming where breaks are like, right, like you're gonna eat this and we're gonna keep moving. Like we just need to get through the day.
Yeah.
That was what it was giving. So like there wasn't really much time to like process everything.
Yeah, and decompress. Honestly, sounds a little bit like filming Drag Race, I'm not going to lie. They fed us properly, but just like...
It's non-stop. It really is non-stop. I think a lot of people watch these programs and shows and films and like the things that we get up to, but don't actually realize like the extent, the level of work that goes into doing it. Whether it's scripted or whether it's reality, whatever it is, like you're incubated in this bubble with these people who become your family. And it's like an emotional... physical, like I sometimes finish these shoots and I feel like I've been hit by a car. Like my body, like it takes me like a week or like sometimes more to just like operate and function as a human being normally.
Yeah,
properly again.
It is that sort of like, it's almost like being at school. Like when you're at school, everyone that you're in a class with are like your best friends, always and forever. Maybe to this day, after you've left school, you're still in touch with people. They're still close friends. But like there will be a lot of people from that school whose names you remember, but you haven't spoken to them for ages and stuff like that. And I feel like the filming process, as you said, like if it's reality, if it's scripted, if it's drama, if it's comedy, like you do have that like bubble energy, especially when you can't like go home at the end of the day. You are like in a hotel or in a flat or like whatever. Yeah, it's wild.
But I love it. I wouldn't change it for the world. It's really addictive, and in a way you get to like shape shifts and live like these different lives as different people, you know? And that's the beauty of it sometimes. Is
there like a role or like a show that you're like, yep, that's the one, that's what I'm working towards?
Well, at the minute, I'm obsessed with slow horses. And you know what I mean? I'm really into espionage, babe. Do you know what I mean?
I'm the same.
I'm like, you know what? Get me like a little role playing like an office siren or like a double agent, you know? I want to hold I want to hold a clipboard. Okay. I want to hold... like files and documents and like classified information, and you know, I want to be that girl.
That's so funny.
Strutting up and down the office with my little specs, being like, "Hey, these are the files you requested."
we're very different people because I have the same aspiration to be in that kind of show, but I want to be the one who's like, I'm hacking the mainframe. Like, I want to be like the computer nerd who's like, I don't get to like go into the field. I don't get to do anything else. I'm like on the call to them being like, the firewall.
Did you ever see that, the spin-off of like Iron Man or whatever, like Iron Heart or Iron Girl or something? Yeah.
I have not watched Iron Heart yet.
But you know what I mean?
Starring Shea Coulee from RuPaul's Drag Race.
Because just as you were saying that, I just saw Shea Coulee like...
But Shea Coulee was like a cool hacker. And do you know what? A fun thing about that role...
Love Shea Coulee.
Me too. A fun thing about that role is that it's from... So they made like a sort of like gender-bending drag-ish superhero in the comics. And that character was based on the Vixen and Shea Coulee. And Slug, who is in Ironheart, is that character's like backstory. And Shea Coulee got the part.
Yeah, as she should.
Yeah. It's literally based on you.
Yeah, we literally need to hire more like drag artists into mainstream television.
Just queer people of colour.
Queer people of colour, period.
Let's get the drag out of that. Let's just hire more queer people of colour to be in... Listen, I'm basically just pitching both of us to... available for acting work, thank you. No, but it's so true. If you don't see yourself represented and reflected, then you'll never know that that's something that you can achieve.
100%. I mean, the same can be just said just generally about like writers and like the behind the scenes as well, because I think it's just as important to make sure that the stories that are written and the parts that are written are like authentic and from the perspective of like people with lived experience.
Yeah.
You know, I'm sick of negotiating with execs and showrunners and producers like the legitimacy of like my ideas, and like I hate when people are like, yeah, but is that believable though? You know, when you pitch ideas and like little amendments to lines and characters, and it's like sometimes it's not believable because it's not your life, and how would you know? You know what I mean? I shouldn't have to persuade you why this non-binary like character as a person of color like would say this or do that, because I know what it's like, you know? So that's why I'm trying to work on shows and projects that are like actually made by people that look like me. And I want to be on more like POC-led, more women-led sets.
Yeah.
I'm just sick of the burnout.
Yeah,
sick of being exhausted.
I also think at the moment, like I did literally promise you it wouldn't get too heavy, but here we are. We live in an era of politics and the world where it feels a little bit like the world is on fire and people are trying to push back against queer people, against women, against people of colour, against immigrants. And it's very difficult when you're combating that day to day, just like seeing how people are like co-opting flags, making these remarks, feel entitled, feel comfortable to do Nazi salutes. Like that's what we're living with at the moment. So then to go into a workplace and then have to face that same, like to combat that same sort of like different energy, but same principle that you're not listening to like my truth and my authenticity.
I mean, not to bring it back to what it feels like for a girl, but that's why that show was so came at such a critical time, because like right now in the zeitgeist and in society and the news and like just media in general is like bombarding us with like so much negative rhetoric about trans people. And I'm like, Diva, that does not look like or sound like any of the friends that I have. No. Because I'm very proud to say that majority of the like my circle are trans people, and every single one of them lives such a beautiful, nuanced, joyful life. And that is because they've had to earn it and fight for it. You know what I mean? And like then for people to come and combat all of that and to question all of that and belittle them with like such reductive, horrible like statements and allegations. And it just makes me think the people that are actually saying this stuff are people that don't know trans people and don't have many trans people or queer people in their life, period. What it feels like for a girl completely changed like the way that we see trans people in TV. And here's my reason why, right? Because whenever we see trans stories, there's always some kind of tragedy. There's always some kind of like, you know, you meant to feel bad for them or sympathize for them. And I'm like, this is not that. They are very much from the perspective of a trans person, because it was written by the incredible Paris Lee, who is an incredible like trans author, but also because like you don't have to feel like sorry for them. It feels like they're badass and it feels like they're empowered and they're very much like telling their story and reclaiming some of like the negative rhetoric around like sex work or what it's like to be working class or to grow up with gender dysphoria and stuff like that. Like there's just not many shows doing that from their perspective. And it's kind of annoying. It's like, why? Why is that not happening?
I totally agree with you. And I will add to that as well that I feel like it's not only these people who feel this way obviously do not have any trans friends and do not understand the experience of a trans person. But equally what they're not understanding is that kind of rhetoric will negatively impact people around them. Even this morning, I was on X, formerly known as Twitter. That was an aggressive tummy rumble. I was on X, formerly known as Twitter.
That's your body's reaction to hearing...
Furious. I'm hungry for justice. And I saw, because Glamour have the Women of the Year.
So iconic.
And the cover was all trans divas, iconic.
Shout out to Maxine, Monroe, Belle, all the iconic cover stars of that.
Every single one.
Yeah.
But then they were posting clips of women who had attended. Yeah. And one person, lovely slow-mo of her like arriving, a cis woman receiving transphobic comments. People saying, you can't pretend that man is a blah, 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 all of that kind of thing. Mama, look at what is happening. Because of your blindness to transphobia, you just see a diva whose hair is a little shorter than someone else's, and you're like, that's a man. No, like you are going to negatively impact the women in your life. Or if you are a woman who is spreading this kind of rhetoric, you are going to negatively impact yourself. And I say that because I am actually really angry and I'm so sorry. I say that because when these conversations are happening, they're never talking about trans men. They are almost exclusively targeting trans women with this. It does obviously impact trans men quite a lot, especially when it comes to like this bathroom debate and all of that kind of nonsense. But these bigoted remarks is rooted in misogyny and it ends up targeting women, including cis women, and affecting them. How many of these videos have gone viral? I am fully monologuing now. I'm so sorry. You set me off on one. How many of those videos have gone viral where a woman's being chased out of the bathroom? And it's like, that you're not even chasing, like, you're mad at trans people and you're not even chasing a trans person at this point. Your bigotry has blinded you so much that you now believe that a woman must have ass-length hair, a gorgeous smoky eye, present in a certain way in order for you to compute her as a woman. That's nonsense. That has always been nonsense. It's absolutely insane behaviour. And don't even get me started on the LGBs without the Ts. You're the worst of everyone. That's
why we should vote for the Green Party.
Thank you.
Period.
You know I'm a Green Party diva.
Yeah, I've seen the interview, girl. I love Zach. I really hope this year I'm going to do everything in my power to like lobby and push for the Green Party.
I'm
committed to the cause. Have you been watching Big Brother?
I have.
What do you think of Zila?
I have two things about Zila. My first thing is I absolutely wanted Zila to win.
He's so hot.
But I also think Zila was a little bit boring.
Okay, I have to disagree.
I morally wanted Zila to win.
Yeah. I just think towards the end, especially with like losing, his best mate who like left and stuff, I think it like you can't help but you go a bit stir crazy in there and I don't know. I think the energy changed a lot. Like a lot of like, there's a lot of people like turning on each other and cliques starting to form. And I think maybe Zila didn't know like where he fell within the dynamic of the house.
I see that.
But I do think that very much needed television and like positive representation of like the trans masculine like experience. It was like so iconic. Like I Kissed a Boy, like was showing positive representation of the trans male experience.
Lars, we love
Lars. But like it was like just getting to spend time with Zila, and like I think obviously I have trans masc friends, but like having him be on daytime TV, whatever, you know what I mean?
Primetime
TV, and like every single night being broadcast to millions of people. Like people needed to see that. Yeah. And like people needed to like hear from him, like tackling these like issues and like talking about these like things that are happening in the world and just like what it's like to live as a trans man.
For sure.
Like I know people that have literally never seen that kind of representation before message me and be like, want Zila to win. I was like, yeah.
I wanted Zila to win for what he represented. And the reason why I say a little bit boring.
And that's okay sometimes. Like,
yeah,
sometimes I'm like, oh, like, that's like, that he should, that's not a legitimate reason to win. But I'm like, no, reparations.
Oh yeah, you can't tell me anytime there's a black woman on a show, I'm like, she's my favourite. Doesn't matter. But I say Zila's a bit boring as a compliment. And my reason for that is like, Big Brother historically, I'm obsessed with Big Brother since the year 2000 when it started in the UK.
Yeah, and
we've
like,
had
Nadia.
Yeah. a trans woman who won was like outrageous, funny, screaming, all of that kind of thing. It's actually so that's another one to bleep. So to have Zila, who's like just the most normal. And that's what I mean by boring. That's an unfair word to use. But
I get what you mean.
Just like a person, a human being that you would bump into in the supermarket and have like, oh, the weather's nice, isn't it?
Yeah.
Anyway, see you later.
Yeah.
I think people think of like, particularly queer people in general, but also trans people, I think they perceive some sort of like caricature of a human being, or like all outrageous, or like whatever.
They have to represent the whole community and have the right answers to everything. Yeah.
Zila was just sat down having a chat and like dealt with everything so brilliantly.
So articulate.
Caroline, awful person, disagree with your politics, hate your best friend.
But you make great TV.
Nigel, but you can't. Like, you can't have a pantomime without a panto villain.
Yeah.
And I think Caroline is the panto villain. I don't want to be friends with her. I actually never want to look her in the eye in my life. But she's camp.
And Sam as well. Sam, I have to stand Sam, even though I know he's behaved a little bit questionably in the show. But my Canal Street sister.
Smash be official.
You know what I mean?
You can't deny Smash be official.
It's so iconic. I'm excited for her little, like, when she comes out of the show, like, what she's going to do and what, like, I want to hear her. I want to see her live, girl. I'm like, hope she gets booked her, girl. Book Sam, period.
Book Smash B to perform her single Click Your Heels, featuring former Big Brother contestant Austin Armacost and Davina De Campo.
Period.
I love that everyone has got to know Smash B official. I can't say Sam.
We might see her at Manchester Pride next year. Oh.
Manchester Pride.
I mean,
will there be a Manchester Pride next year?
Truly, that is the $1 million question.
You literally are a Manchester diva.
Well, actually, there's something I want to show you.
Okay.
So, this is...
What a segue.
This is actually the first time we ever met. And I know you think we met at the Giddy Awards.
I did just say that to you and you were like, well, and now I'm scared.
We actually met August the 1st, 2021. And this is...
I knew exactly what that outfit was going to be. Firstly, I thought I was giving Rihanna and I'm not. Wait.
This was backstage at the Sackville Gardens.
It was. Yeah. This wasn't even Pride. This was like a different event, wasn't it?
Yeah. And it was just like, all the queens were there. I think like this was like fresh after the show.
It was. And it was like, I remember doing that and feeling like really insecure about it because they put the United King dolls together as like one meet and greet so that everyone would be really excited about them. And then me and Joe Black together as like an afterthought. Like, oh, people will come to you as well.
Yeah.
But anyway, who's won Drag Race now? King dolls. Yeah, I can't
But it was
believe
so
that.
lovely to meet you. And like, I remember like, maybe because we just come out of COVID. And so like that season, everyone was watching. And it was like so iconic to have you guys in Manchester. Manchester Pride to me is one of the best prides in the UK. And like, obviously with what's going on at the minute, it's been really tough. And like, not just for me, but just like for my friends who worked every single night and the whole week in the lead up to Manchester Pride.
And have not been paid.
And then basically found out that they basically just volunteered. I mean, where do you start with this conversation? I think first and foremost, it's important to identify maybe some of the things that went wrong. I do think that the introduction of like the new depot space, you know, like near the train station in Manchester, there's like massive, the warehouse.
Yeah, I performed that,
Yeah. So that was one of the things they did this year. They called it like Mardi Gras or something. Like, and then I don't know. I don't know what the stage was called, but like it was this introduction of this new space.
Yeah.
Diva, it was empty. There was hardly anyone there. Beside the big performances, like for the most part, it was just empty. And so people were paying so much money for this like full weekend VIP pass, like access all areas. But like they didn't need to do that. Like they didn't need that space. And I think that definitely pushed Pride over the edge financially because they've already lost so many of their sponsors and their brand partnerships because of the boycotting. So it's like, I just think financially, some of the choices that were made didn't need to happen.
Well, I think it was the bankruptcy aspect. Here's my hot take. Irresponsible decisions were made. I think someone thought that investing in a new space, which meant that there were more tickets available to be sold, and in theory that would increase revenue, I think they thought that would get more money for them. However, the correct thing to do in that situation is to play a safer game. Maybe it should have been smaller this year. Maybe there shouldn't have been as many people hired for things. Maybe they should have hedged their bets and had a little bit more of a safe, low-key year.
Yeah.
Which I understand is probably not what we want to do when we're going through a politically difficult time and we want to have this like big show of defiance and this big Pride is still a protest energy.
Well, you say that, but actually like a lot of the expansion was just booking big names, but not necessarily like, it didn't feel like they made more of an effort to recenter things, like to make it feel like a protest. Because actually I will say the one event they did have, obviously this was ages ago now in August, but there was an event that they had planned, and that was specifically for people that wanted to get on stage and address what was going on in the world right now, and just globally, like with what's happening to the queer community. Please tell me why the main entrance to that space, which this took place at Sackville Gardens, was gated off. So you couldn't, so you know, off of Canal Street, how you enter Sackville Gardens, you couldn't actually enter the space where this event was taking place. So then like people in wheelchairs and stuff that like need accessibility, like they couldn't access that space. So you can imagine the like numbers were very low.
Yeah.
Like hardly anyone came. And then in the end, rather than like it feeling like really like political and like community oriented and stuff, they had like confetti cannons and people singing and stuff right after speeches where people were like crying on stage talking about genocides and things that are happening in the world. So it just, the whole thing just felt really tonally off. And it made me question, like, why was this event put on? Was this like a tick box type of situation?
So they could say that they did it.
Right?
Yeah.
And it wasn't live streamed. Everything else that was on that stage was live streamed. And it just made me think, well, you know what? I think people that are running Manchester Pride at the minute, their priorities and like the agenda is not giving. And lo and behold, this has happened. So I just hope, because I am an optimistic person, I am hopeful. And at the end of the day, this is my city's pride and I want it to do well. I'm not here like enjoying, you know, like having to be in this situation. But I really do hope whatever comes next is community oriented and it's by people who truly care about the artists and want to make it accessible and affordable. But first and foremost, we are aware that Pride is a protest and it's not just some festival. It's not a commercial, you know, capitalist institute.
For sure. And I will shout out Bristol Pride above and beyond like any Pride, because that for me is the one that sums up exactly what Pride can be. Bristol Pride has no corporate sponsorship whatsoever. The people who organise it, I'm friends with some of them, like the people who organise it spend the entire year in the bars in Bristol putting on events, fundraising, putting buckets out so that they can get money and donations and stuff in and fund their entire like 2 stages, which are not small stages. There is an equally sized cabaret stage.
Sometimes it's better. It's more intimate.
And like you can have Cabaret Divas, they have like a headline act from like US Drag Race and UK Drag Race. And then they've got the main stage, which is pretty much the same size, somewhere else in the park. All these things everywhere. It's family appropriate. It has like the energy of like we're having a fun day, but
Bristol's
also we understand
best.
why we're here. Like I love it. I will shout it out every time.
Yeah.
They don't need, there's nothing for them to boycott because they don't have any sponsors coming in. So there's no loss of money for them. They just need to like ensure that they're fundraising throughout the year. I mean, obviously there's a cost of living crisis and no one has any money because of the Labour government being terrible, but hopefully people will still make donations.
Yeah.
But that's what I think Pride should be. And you summed it up so well, that sense of community I've always found lacks in Pride in London and also Manchester Pride.
Yeah.
I don't see it there. I love it when I get to perform at like, I did Stirling Pride and that's like not a big Pride. It's a small place in Scotland. And like I did it and it was amazing because I was in the town square and there were like 100 people there with their flags out. And I was like, I'm here and I feel like it's important.
Yeah, I always have the best time at Prides that feel less corporate. Like I had the best time at Trans Pride. I'm actually wearing the top that I wore with Not a Phase when we marched. And it says joy is an act of resistance. Thank you. Love you, Not a Phase. But I always feel like, as soon as something gets really commercial, you know, the agenda changes and it becomes much more about people's salaries and who were the big names we can get, who do literally nothing for the community. And whilst we're on the subject of donating, I do urge people watching to donate to the Manchester crowdfunding fundraiser that's happening at the minute for the artists who haven't been paid in Manchester. I believe it's like organised by like Nathaniel Hall and people like that in the community who are like coming together, mobilising and fixing it, you know?
I love that.
I love that it's like, as artists, we have to take care of each other. We have to look out for each other, because otherwise, honey, it's brutal out here.
Yeah, I love that. Like, it's so important to you and you care about that. Like, you're off the telly. You could be like, do whatever you like, but you're still like participating in this. And also donate to Not a Phase, and tune into Celebrity Mastermind over the Christmas period to see if I win any money for Not a Phase. Thank you for joining me.
Of course.
That was like such a great conversation. And now we're going to introduce our favourite Live, Laugh, Love with a game that isn't serious and isn't that deep.
Oh my God, I think we got so deep, but I love that though.
Me too. On that note, I'm afraid we must play this super fun game that
yes, let's
not
do
that
it. Let's
deep
play
and
a
not that...
game.
Okay, Live, Laugh, Love, what is our podcast game?
So our podcast game is Waterloo. Or Waterloo.
Waterloo, like as in like the battle, like the war.
Yeah.
Oh, gag. Okay, this is giving like history GCSEs. I actually got a B in my history GCSEs.
Okay, work.
Yeah. Shout out to my history teacher. She might have helped me cheat. Anyways, back to you.
You have to decide if each name is from the BBC series, Waterloo Road, or a historical figure from the Battle of Waterloo 1815.
I love this. This is fully my energy.
Okay.
Are we working as a team or are we against each other? Let's be a team.
Let's be a team.
We've spoken so much about community.
Fight for our community.
Yeah, exactly.
It's time to fight in the war.
Okay, the first one, Tom Clarkson.
Tom Clarkson.
Waterloo Road.
Teacher, right?
Mr. Clarkson.
We're going to realise that Tia knows much more about Waterloo Road trivia than me.
Tom Clarkson was before your time, right?
I don't remember there being a Tom Clarkson in the reboot. Remember, I am from like the,
You're like
2.0.
Yeah, next gen.
Arthur Wellesley.
Mr. Wellesley.
Mr. Wellesley does sound like something, but I feel like maybe it's giving...
I think it's giving the Waterloo.
Battle of. Yeah, okay, Battle of.
That's correct.
Period.
Michelle Ney.
How are we spelling Ney?
N-E-Y.
Feels French, could be Battle of Waterloo. Michelle Ney.
Yeah,
Miss Ney.
No, I don't think Michelle is Waterloo Road. I think it's giving Waterloo Battle.
Yeah, Miss Ney doesn't trip off the tongue. No one would have written that name.
Correct.
Yeah, period. Wait, so far it's 3 points, right?
3 for 3.
3 for 3.
10 out of 10. Okay. Sam Kelly.
Oh,
definitely.
Yeah. Did you abbreviate Sambuca to Sam? Because it is in fact Sambuca Kelly.
Right?
Sambuca Kelly.
The icon. Writers of Waterloo Road, I understand the emotion of the storyline, but the fact that we can never have Sambuca Kelly back is so upsetting. Very good storyline.
I'm so glad they didn't kill me off. Because like now there's a chance for me to actually come back one day.
Yeah,
I can come back as a teacher or like, I don't know, like a little cameo.
Where do you think
Kai's gone?
Yeah.
Well, Kai was very much giving like, he went off to Berlin and then he came back. He's really like, he's that girl, like he's like jet setting. Flying around. Maybe he's in Asia somewhere at the minute, on a bit of a gap year.
With Preston?
No. I think Preston's pretty locked in, like giving he wants to be like an athlete. And Kai's like, I wanna see the world. I wanna do yoga in Thailand. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
But you guys have the power to bring them back together. So write to the BBC.
I need that to happen.
Okay, next question.
Janice Bryant.
Janice
Bryant.
Waterloo Road.
Waterloo
Janice. No one was called Janice in the Battle of Waterloo.
Duke of Wellington.
Yeah,
Janice!
Javard von Blücher.
Oh, that's Battle of Waterloo.
Battle of Waterloo.
I can see them doing something like that on like a French exchange. But that's definitely Battle of Waterloo.
Kind of Janice Aqua era.
William Delancey.
William Delancey. That's got to be Battle of... What do you think?
I think that's giving
Battle of.
It's giving Battle of. Correct. Okay. Granty Budgeon.
Mr. Budgeon is Waterloo Road, the most iconic Waterloo Road teacher of all time.
Okay, there's one more. I think this is too easy. I'll tell you why, because it's quite obvious the modern names and like the historical names.
Granty Budgeon is not a modern name.
Okay. Napoleon Bonaparte.
Really have to think about that one.
Wasn't she in class 7B?
Yeah, Napoleon.
Yeah. Miss Napoleon.
Miss Napoleon. That's kind of that's a serve.
We've got firstly, it's definitely Battle of Waterloo. Secondly, when you come back into Waterloo Road, I will somehow become a writer and write in a character called Napoleon.
Never mind being a writer. I want you in the show. Let's manifest it. Hi, Waterloo Road. Hey, right, remember me, Adam. Can you please hire Tia Kofi to be in Waterloo Road? I need her to come in as a cameo, maybe as a teacher.
Yeah.
Or
Substitute teacher.
Substitute teacher that like secretly does drag, and one of the students catches her doing drag, and it's like a whole thing.
Oh my God, that's good.
And then you like end up coming into school in drag and embracing it and teaching all the kids how to like be themselves.
Reform UK will love that storyline.
Yes.
That would be great.
Okay, Waterloo Road, make it happen.
And maybe
your people will reach out to their people will reach out to you.
Okay. Yeah, we'll do that.
And maybe Kai drives you in. Like, I'm like driving the car because you know my character drives, right?
Yeah.
Yeah.
Okay, well, you can come you can come back in and then we
just to drop you off. I'm an Uber driver. I'm the Uber driver.
Sure, why not? No. You come back in because you're hosting. Like, they found out about the drag. We end up embracing the drag. And then we have a drag lip sync competition called the Battle of Waterloo, which you host.
Diva, write the episode.
We've done it. And then Preston runs in at the end and proposes. Wait.
We can't give it all away, girl. We can't, you know what I'm saying? We'll tune in.
But will they say yes? Will they say no? We don't know.
If he's available, he's busy and booked.
Oh, really?
Noah is killing it right now. He's everywhere.
Did Noughts and Crosses with Corinna from...
Hi, Snapper. I love her.
Hi, Snapper.
She's such an icon.
Oh, yeah. Big fan. Anyway, thank you for joining me.
I had the best time, babe.
You are an icon. You are a legend. You
know,
are a
you
star.
kind of took my podcast virginity. Like, I've not done anything like as big as this, podcast-wise.
Did I also take your Drag Race meet and greet virginity as well?
Yes, you have.
Wow.
Love you.
But Preston took your actual...
Yeah.
No, we can't talk about that. That's great.
Okay, all right. Wrap it up.
Anyway, thank you for joining me. See you later.